In this lecture, we are going to talk about wrapper classes. So first of all, the primitive data types are not objects. They do not belong to any class. They are defined in the language itself. So Java provides wrapper classes for each of the primitive data types and the mechanisms to convert primitives into objects and vice versa. Okay, so you may pose the question that why do we need objects? So the answer is that objects are needed if we wish to modify the arguments passed into a method, because primitive types are passed by value. So this is why sometimes it is useful to convert primitive data types to objects and objects to primitive types. So first of all, let's consider the 8 wrapper classes. There are 8 primitive data types such as the byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. And every single primitive data type has a wrapper class accordingly. And these classes are objects, as you can see. So we have byte, short, integer, long, float, double, character, and boolean as well as a wrapper class. So these wrapper classes are subclasses of the abstract class number. So byte, short, integer, long, float, and double are numbers. So if we take a look at the wrapper class hierarchy, we can make sure that object is the parent. Then we have character and boolean that are objects. We have a number that's an object as well, and byte, short, integer, long, float, and double are numbers. So this is the wrapper class hierarchy. Okay, let's talk about autoboxing and unboxing. Autoboxing and unboxing feature converts primitives into objects and objects into primitives automatically. So basically, with the help of autoboxing and unboxing, we are able to convert primitive data types to wrapper classes and vice versa. Okay, so as you can see, unboxing and autoboxing is the mechanism where we convert primitive data types to objects and vice versa. Okay, let's take a look at a concrete example. If we use something like this, that integer int object is equals to 55, it is a simple example of autoboxing, because in the background something like this is going to happen. Java is going to use integer.value of 55 in order to create a wrapper class, because integer with capital I is an object and not a primitive type. Of course, we can use unboxing, so unbox the object into a primitive type, as you can see, with a single reference. So if we use something like this, we are going to use unboxing, which means that we are going to convert the object, so the wrapper class, into primitive type. This is what we are going to talk about in the coming lectures, by the way. So it's going to be clear how to use autoboxing and unboxing. One of the objectives of the wrapper class is to define several utility methods, so we can use several useful methods that otherwise we couldn't use with primitives. So if we check the Java documentation, for example, the integer class, as you can see, it is an object and it is a number as well. This is what we have been talking about in the wrapper class hierarchy. As you can see, there are several methods. These are the methods we can use with the wrapper class. We are not able to use these methods with primitives, so this is why it is one of the most significant features of wrapper classes or objects, that we can use these methods. Bit count, for example, that returns the number of 1 bits in the 2's complement binary representation of the specified integer value. We can compare given integers. We can compare 2 integer objects numerically. We can decode a string into an integer. So these are the methods we can use with wrapper classes, and this is why sometimes it is useful to convert primitive data types into wrapper classes or objects such as this integer, because we can use these methods quite easily. Thanks for watching.